Hi, Julie.
Hi,
Okay,
Karen.
so we're going to connect with little Juno for a few minutes and see what he has to tell us, okay?
My recent rescue from Nicaragua. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so just give me a second to connect in with him, invite him to come and talk to me because animals have free will and they can say no. But he's kind of a friendly dude, so I'm assuming he will say yes. So he does make me want to laugh because he's just like, let's just do everything like this. And he's super high energy to the point that he's showing me right now that he is like inside this big ball of energy that's bigger than his body. And he doesn't really actually know what to do with it yet because he's so young. It's kind of like as if energy were in a ball and it starts rolling down a hill like a snowball and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And he's inside of it. So once he gets rolling, is the way he's telling it to me. Once I get rolling, get out of my way.
Yeah.
I just got to keep going. So that's what, does this make sense to you about his personality?
It makes total sense. He has more energy than any puppy I've ever had, but he has this energy that he's almost not even sure of how to use it because he bumps into things and he flops over and he'll be playing with the dogs and then he does like tumbles, but he bounces right back up because it's like part of his game.
Right. So do you
And
see what I mean by he's just
yes,
consumed by his own energy?
yes,
That
he's
it's
crazy.
leading him. He's not leading his energy,
Yep.
which is very interesting because he says, I'm kind of like mommy.
Great.
He just said, just like mommy.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, let me see what else he wants to say to us today. Is there something you want to let mom know about how we might be able to help you with your energy? Okay, so what he's showing me, he needs to exert a lot of energy. So he needs space to really run,
Mm-hmm.
but also he's really highly intelligent. Like his mind is racing a lot of times
Hmm.
ahead of him. He's a bit ADD in his energy and that he's not really sure what to focus on. So it's like each thing that that gets his attention is yet another thing.
Sounds just like me.
Doesn't he sound like his mom?
Yes, he does.
And training, what he showed me, training and running through an obstacle course
Okay.
till it exhausts him
Hmm.
would actually really benefit him because he's showing me that his mind is so sharp. He
Mm-hmm.
gets bored really easily.
Okay.
And I know one of the questions that you had, and he's bringing me there, is him with other dogs that are not his family.
Yeah.
Because he's already showing me like going for them or going toward them,
Yeah. There he is.
pushing them. Hi, handsome boy. So let's see what else he wants to say. We'll just ask him this one last question for now. Okay, buddy. What is important for us to know about your relationship with dogs that you don't know, right? Is that really it?
Well, even new dogs, like we have a foster step dog, rather. We share a dog with my in-laws, and that dog and him in the very beginning, for like the first 2 months, he was always intense with her in the beginning. And then they would play like crazy, but he always went right after her, like he was going to fight with her. So we had to kind of keep them not separated, but we had to like sort of slowly get them back together every time.
Mm-hmm.
We walk with the dog every morning, and he, for the first 30 minutes, is like trying to get in his face, but the dog's zooming around him all the time. So we've tried just letting him go in the field to see what would happen, and he does the same thing. He like goes right for the dog, but if we walk for 30 minutes, he's like, oh, we're just near one another, and that intensity disappears, if that makes sense.
What's this other dog's name?
Blue.
Blue. Okay, so let me ask him about his relationship with Blue and what you need to know, okay?
Sure.
All right. All right, Juno. Can you please tell us about your relationship with Blue and what's important for us to know about your relationship? Okay, so Blue is a boy, because I heard him say, I love him.
Mhm.
I really love him. No, I really, really, really love him. He's showing it to me like two little boys. You know when two little boys play so hard, they actually, it turns into a fight, but they don't mean it to.
Mhm.
But they just have all this energy that they use to push each other.
Mhm.
This is part of what he's showing me is his carefree abandon at just going crazy with Blue.
Mhm.
So what I'm saying to him that you would prefer if you would get along a little better. But
Yeah.
why is this happening in this way? What is
It's turned into a fight a couple times.
right? This
Yeah.
is the part that he's showing about the little boys who can play and play and play and actually make believe they're make believe fighting, but
Mhm.
then it rises their emotions to the point where they don't even realize they're actually in a real fight till they're actually in it.
Yeah.
This is what he's showing me.
Yeah. Okay.
So how do we help you with this? Or what is important for mom to know about this? No, okay, so I'm hearing needing parameters. And by needing parameters, it's he feels like he's going to do whatever he wants if he hasn't learned how to be part of your pack. So he's in some ways pushing your boundaries and pushing the sense of who's in charge because he can.
Hmm.
And because he's really wanting a little hierarchy. Not hierarchies in I'm alpha and you're not, but
Mhm.
hierarchy as in whose energy is commanding the space right now.
Mhm.
And some behavior training, positive reinforcement behavior training, where he learns how happy it makes you when he performs in certain ways is actually in
Yeah.
his nature.
Okay.
Because when I ask him that, his heart gets really big and open and he gets really excited
Mhm.
about doing stuff.
Mhm.
So he's looking for more in his world, intelligent, like thinking communication between the two of you, where you're actually commanding or asking and collaborating with him at a
Mhm.
different level than what you're doing right now.
We had started doing some training and he is very intelligent. We had started doing a lot of training. We went to a couple training sessions to try and reconnect my memory with some of my training in the past. And he's very receptive to it.
Yeah.
He likes the games. He has really bad recall. He has that sort of hormonal teenage brain still where he sometimes decides he does or doesn't. And I haven't been willing to go back to the like basics of like keeping the dog right here and
Yep.
so I've given him a little maybe too much freedom. And so his recall's bad and this intensity thing, but he does love the games. And since I've been back from my recent volunteer trip in Nicaragua, I haven't been able to re-engage him. I've been busy catching up. And so that's good to remember that he likes the games because that's something that's easy for us to do.
And consistency for him,
Mm.
especially with his a bit ADD mentality right
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Every single time has to be the same outcome of praise and
Yeah.
thank you and support when he does it right.
Yeah.
And a lot of peacefulness and calm and groundedness.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when you're asking him to do something.
Okay.
So that he feels the shift from being held in your energy of, okay, it's not time to go yet, or it's not time to move, or I need to come back, versus the celebratory yay because he did it right.
Perfect. It's
Because
what I've been doing, but I've been slacking.
Yeah. And because negative communication with him isn't actually going to work.
I know.
Because there's too much aggression in it, and it creates too much fear in him based on, he is showing me this from his time before when he was in Nicaragua. There's too much frenetic energy and negative energy or negative no, and that kind of anger and command. It's too similar in its vibrational frequency to the way that he kind of was brought into the world.
Okay.
So it actually traumatizes his, I can feel it in my nervous system. He's showing me like he gets like, it's like too overwhelming for him. He doesn't actually know what to do.
Which would make sense because if if he's restrained, or when you pull back, or he even gets to the end of his leash, he gets more intense rather than
Right.
responding. He doesn't respond positively when he's pulled on. Yeah, none of those collars work on him. So
Mhm.
that's
Yep.
good to know.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's
Cool.
thank him for sharing
Thank
a little bit
you.
today, and we'll disconnect from him.
All right.
Thank you, handsome Juno. He's like, give me one of these like licky face kisses to say goodbye. Bye, baby boy. Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Karen.